Okay, so here's where you can't find good appointment setters. The problem isn't that talented appointment setters don't exist. The problem is that most businesses haven't built an environment where good setters can succeed. Appointment setters aren't magicians. They're operators inside of a system. When the system is broke, even great setters underperform. When the system is strong, average setters often become top performers. So the real issue is businesses ask one person to compensate for a weak, undocumented process. The fix is build a system so strong that it makes an average setter successful. The result is qualified appointments every day, every week, regardless of who sits in the role. So the first lesson is you expect them to figure it out. The problem, many business owners hire a setter and expect them to immediately book meetings with no onboarding, no documentation, no guidance. They are handed a phone or a CRM logging and told to get results. This is one of the most common and costly mistakes in appointment setting. Every company has different offers, objections, ideal customers, messaging styles, CRMs, and sales processes. No setter, no matter how experienced, can magically understand your business in a week. So you need to build a repeatable onboarding system. The faster someone learns your business, the faster they book calls. Invest in a structured onboarding as a business asset, not a one-time task. A well-onboarded setter becomes productive in days, not months. So SOPs, you need step-by-step process documentation for every single workflow, offer training, deep understanding of what you'll sell and why it matters, ICP documentation, clear profiles of your ideal customers, objection libraries, pre-written responses to the most common pushbacks, recorded examples, real calls that demonstrate what good looks like, practice conversations, role play before they ever touch a live lead. So you want to make sure you have these things in place before you even think about hiring a setter. You think hiring solves a process problem. That's what most people think. The most expensive mistake a business owner can make is believing the next hire will fix everything. We just need a better setter is the most common sentence said before repeating the same cycle of disappointment. Bad leads. If your lead source produces low quality prospects, no setter on earth can consistently book qualified meetings for you. If you have garbage coming in, you're going to get garbage out. Also, weak messaging. If your value proposition doesn't resonate with your audience, your setter is fighting an uphill battle on every single conversation. And also, inconsistent follow up. Without a defined follow up cadence, prospects fall through the cracks. A new setter inherits the same broken process. Unoptimized calendars as well. If booking logistics are complicated or availability is limited, even warm prospects won't convert to book calls. Scripts that don't convert. If the sales script hasn't been tested and refined, changing the person reading it or sending it makes no difference to the outcome. Fix the appointment setting system first. The setter is only one piece of the machine. A great machine makes average people successful. No one is coaching them. The pattern. The owner disappears after hiring, no check-ins, no feedback, no guidance. Weeks later, the verdict is delivered. They're not performing. But for performance without coaching is just luck. Elite athletes have coaches. Sales reps earning seven figures have coaches. Appointment setters are who are on the front line of your revenue every single day deserve the same coaching. Weekly coaching framework. Training isn't something you finish, it's something you continue. Build a recurring coaching cadence into your operation from day one. Call reviews. Listen back to the real conversations and identify what worked and what didn't. Role plays. Also, simulate difficult scenarios before they happen. Script improvements. Update language based on what's actually resonating. Objection handling. Practice specific responses until they feel natural. And KPI reviews. Go through the numbers together and set targets for the week ahead. So lesson 4, they don't know what success looks like. If the only instruction a setter receives is book more calls, they're operating blind without KPIs, they have no way of knowing where they're succeeding or where they're falling short. Vague expectations produce vague results. Precise metrics create precise performance. So the 7 key metrics to track. Every setter should know their numbers across all 7 performance indicators. So, daily conversations. How many new prospects is a setter engaging each day? This is the top of the funnel activity that drives everything else is the daily conversations. Meetings booked. The core conversion metric. Track daily and weekly to identify trends and flag drops before they become a problem. Next is qualified opportunities. Not all meetings are equal. Tracking qualified opportunities separates volume from genuine pipeline progress. Also, response rate. What percentage of outreach attempts generate a reply? A low response rate signals a messaging or targeting problem, not a people problem. Show rate. Of all meetings booked, how many prospects actually attended? Low show rates reveal issues in the confirmation and reminder process. Revenue generated. Ultimately, appointment setting is a revenue generating activity. Connecting setter activity to the closed revenue makes the case for investment clear. So, what gets measured gets improved. Define the metrics before your setter starts, not after the first month of underperformance. So, lesson 5 is your follow-up system is weak. Most businesses quit after 1 or 2 messages. Let's say 1 or 2 months of messages, a prospect doesn't reply and the conversations is abandoned, but the data tells a different story. A significant portion of appointments are booked after 4 or 5 or even 7 touch points. The setter isn't failing, the process is just ending too early. Build a follow-up framework. Consistency books more meetings than creativity. A structured, repeatable follow-up process ensures that no warm prospect is left behind simply because the first message went unanswered. Multiple touch points. Plan a sequence of 5 to 8 follow-up attempts before moving on. Different channels vary between email, LinkedIn, SMS, and phone to increase contact rates. Schedule reminders. Use your CRM to trigger follow-ups automatically and at set intervals. Automated sequences. Build time delay automation so no prospect falls through the cracks. Clear follow-up timelines. Define exactly when each touch point occurs. Day 1, day 3, day 7, or day 14. The follow-up system should be documented, templated, and consistent so it works whether one setter is running it or 5. Also, lesson 6 and 7. The system must evolve and it must be documented. 2 of the most overlooked failures in appointment setting operations: running the same process forever and building everything around one person. Lesson 6 is you don't improve the system. The same script gets used for months. The same objections keeps resurfacing. Nothing changes, but the market evolves. Offers evolve. Buyers evolve. Your appointment setting should also evolve. Review performance every single week as the hard questions. Which message booked the most calls this week? Which objections came up most often? And do we have a strong answer? Which industries or audiences converted at the highest rate? Where are the prospects dropping off in this sequence? Small weekly improvements compound into massively yearly gains. A 5% improvement in response rate repeated over 52 weeks transforms your pipeline. Lesson 7. You built a job, not a system. If your business depends entirely on one rock star setter, you don't have a business, you have a dependency. When that person leaves, everything stops. Build a system anyone can step into. Document everything: SOPs for every workflow, message templates and scripts, training videos for onboarding, KPI dashboards, quality assessing process for call review, hiring scorecards for recruitment, coaching cadence for ongoing development. When the system is documented, replacing or adding setters becomes very straightforward. The business grows because the process works, not just because one exceptional individual holds everything together. So the final takeaway is businesses don't struggle to book appointments because talented setters don't exist. They struggle because they are asking one person to compensate for a weak, undocumented, uncoached, unmeasured system. Number 1 is to build a strong onboarding system: SOPs, training, ICP documentation, and objection libraries so every setter ramps up fast, not slowly. Number 2 is fix the process before hiring. Leads, messaging, follow-up, and scripts must all be working. The setter is one piece of the machine, not the whole machine. Number 3 is coach consistently. Weekly call reviews, role plays, KPI sessions. Training is never finished, it's ongoing all of the time. You have to continuously train your setters. So measure everything. Define clear KPIs from day 1. What gets measured gets improved, and what gets improved drives revenue. Number 5 is improve every week. Review performance, update the scripts, refine sequences. Small weekly gains compound into transformative yearly results. Number 6, the last one, is to document the system. Build something anyone can step into. When the system is strong, the business scales regardless of who sits in the role. The highest performing companies don't rely on unicorn hires. They build appointment setting systems that consistently generate conversations, develop their people, measure performance, and produce qualified appointments week after week and day after day, regardless of who's sitting in the role. So if you need help putting that together, go to apexsetting.com. That's my business. We can either recruit, train, hire, manage appointment setters for you and build the appointment setting system that the appointment setters work in to produce results for you. We can build that out, and we can hire, and we operate the system month after month. Or we can teach you how to do it with training.